Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. To the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Catherine Vaccaro, serving on the worship team here at 1U. With me in today's service, we have Reverend Tracie Barrett. We have our Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrell, our choir and music director, Aubrey Connolly-Candelario, accompanist, Danielle Monzon Villegas, Jacob Hike on drums, and Randy Pueller on bass. Our artist in residence, Lisa Matias, and board member Ronnie Monteith, and our chalice lighter, Vivian. Let's not forget the teams of wonderful people in our background working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning. Thank you. We greet you this morning, old friends and new, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to our community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th visit in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you're welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. As always, we have special announcements for you today. Next Sunday is our All Music Sunday at First Unitarian, led by our illustrious music director, Aubrey. Since raising our voices in song is an act of resistance, come join the rebellion. Tomorrow is our Martin Luther King Day of Service at the Orlando Convention Center. Come make a million meals with some of your 1U partners in love at the 11 a.m. shift or at another time if that works with your schedule. You can use the QR codes shown on this screen to sign up. Slots are available From 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., there is parking on site and sign-up is a breeze. Next game night is Saturday, January 24th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Bring a snack to share and a heart for fellowship. Whenever we gather, we all win. Stay tuned for future plans from the fellowship team. The community that plays together stays together. Our primary fundraiser goes live next month. Board member Debbie Reinhardt is eager to inspire us with a beautiful tale of her previous auction experience.
Good morning. My niece, Julie, died 16 years ago. She was 22, an artist, a college student studying to be a social worker, a Baha'i, and a handful for her parents, my sister Jill and brother-in-law Gary. She had congenital hydrocephalus, which was previously asymptomatic. During surgery, an artery was nicked, and she passed away a few days later. Around 5 years ago, I was visiting my sister, and she mentioned that she had a bunch of Julie's t-shirts she was having trouble parting with. I took this on as a mission to have a t-shirt quilt made with them for her. I spent years contacting people to find someone to make it without success. Apparently, t-shirt quilts are really difficult to use, and so there weren't that many people out there. And then I saw an offer to make a t-shirt quilt on the 2025 1U auction list from Marianne Horn. I was ecstatic and thought, my search is over. However, there was someone else interested, and we got into a bidding war. The price went up, and when it went over $300, I gave up. I was devastated. So I mentioned this to a few of 1U friends, and as it happens here, right, the word got out, and Marianne approached me at social hour and told me it would be her honor to make a quilt for Julie. Now, I'm not a crier, although I may be disproving this morning, but I burst into tears and hugged her. She guided me through the process, making wonderful suggestions for the quilt. There are a lot of decisions to be made, by the way. Fast forward to October, this past October, I was able to hand Jill a beautiful quilt on our annual Girls' Weekend. She and her husband are thrilled with it and will cherish it. So your donations to the 1U auction can make just as big an impact on people's lives as this quilt did for me and my sister. So don't forget to submit your donations between now and February 7th. Then, starting on February 14th, you can bid on items like a custom t-shirt quilt from Marianne, a mystery dinner, or a handmade pet portrait. Don't forget to register using the link sent out in the weekly update or using the QR code on the slide. Okay.
Thank you. One final announcement. If you want to help make our community a friendlier place, head to the Enrichment Center's Assembly Room at noon today as we discover radical hospitality. All are invited who have an interest in being more welcoming to others. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. All other announcements are posted on slides before and after the service and can be found with links in the weekly update or on our website. If you would like to follow along with today's service, please use the QR code shown on the monitor to view the order of service. Thanks again for being here in person and online. And now we will light our chalice. We welcome our chalice lighter, Vivian. Vivian is age 11. She goes to Blankner downtown, and she loves to draw, she loves art and animation. please join with me in saying our beloved opening words. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Thanks. Now, please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 121, We'll Build a Land.
Our call to worship this morning, the words are by my friend and colleague, Andrea Hawkins-Camper. Hail, singer of songs and starlight, hail. Bring us together with the heartbeat of the drum, the crackling fire of the storm, the quiet comfort of the earth. Join our convocation, O singer of songs. Gather us from the quarters and the corners and the nowhere in between. Bring us home to sanctuary, where our heartbeats are etched into the mortar, where our souls know every comfortable place, hidden in shadow, where spirit rests, even when she reminds us to rest. Join us inside as love becomes a verb. Selah. And if you are joining us for online for the first time, please say so in the comments. If you are joining us for the first time or even the third time in worship today, please stand if you are willing and able so that we may offer a warm welcome. Welcome. And now let us greet one another.
All these new folks in the room we had to say hello to this morning. It's so cool. Thank you for being here. My name is Judith Stein-Farrell. I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment. Mostly I'm just showing my face today. We have a new curriculum in play, and if anyone needs to talk to me about it, this is who you want to talk to, or the classroom teachers. Now I'm inviting Neil Boris up to take on the lead of Time for All Ages today.
And Time for All Ages, for those who are new or uninformed, is a time to showcase our children and those young at heart. And we invite them up right here to the rug to join us. We're going to have a little conversation this morning. So, children and those young at heart who feel childlike today, please come forward and let's chat. Awesome. Look at this crew. Tiger, atta boy. Join us. Oh, more coming. I love it. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Lizzie. Good morning, Benji. I love your name tags. I can see Mateo's here. I love it. Vivian, thank you for doing such a great job lighting the chalice. That was outstanding. Cheers. We love that new tradition. I have a few questions for you guys. And guess what? This is kind of cool. Today, you get to talk into the microphone and share. I know, right? Incredible. And share your wisdom. Because, do you guys know how much wisdom kids have? Is it a little or a lot? A lot. Amen. All right. So, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about solving problems together. Do you guys ever have problems that you have to solve? Raise your hand if you sometimes have problems you have to solve. Yeah. Yeah. And look out into the crowd. Holy moly. There's almost every hand is raised. I love it. All right, so here's my first question about problems. Does anybody have any ideas what you can do when you have a problem you don't know how to solve yourself? What are some ideas about what you can do? Elliot. Judith, your mic. Thanks.
You can take a deep breath and then find an adult you can ask to help you.
Oh. I love it. Wisdom, yes.
I can ask my mom or dad.
Love it. Call in mom or dad. Fantastic. What do you think? What can you do if there's a problem and you don't know how to solve it?
I could tell my mom and dad how I feel.
Yeah, I love that. And there's two themes you guys have already identified. The first theme, and Ellie said right away, is deal with your feelings, right? So that's theme number one. And theme number two is to ask for help from others. All three of you said that. Now, I think we have another hand up. Let's hear.
You want to share?
What's your idea about solving problems? If you have a problem and you don't know what to do, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Go to my room.
Go to your room. I love it. I love it. Now, I have another question. If you're all alone in your room and the problem is still there, what would you like to happen next?
Get my stuffies.
Stuffies are top shelf.
I would take a deep breath and go tell someone.
Take a deep breath. Go tell someone. I want to just ask one question to you guys, and this is a show of hands questions. You put your hand in the air. Do you think it's easier to solve problems together or do it all by yourself? Who thinks together is the best way? Yeah, a lot of togethers. And who thinks I'm just doing it myself? A few of you. I love that. You don't like doing things by yourself, Gloria.
I like him.
Yeah. So that's what us adults are going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how we can help each other solve problems. Does that sound good? Now it's time for you guys to head out to your classes. Hey, yay. And as always, we're going to form a loving arch for you, and then the congregation's all going to sing you out to This Little Light of Mine. Thank you guys for sharing.
Well, that was fun, as it always is. Hi, my name is Ronnie Monteith. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. We invite you into generosity this morning. We are affirming that this is time in our service is not simply an invitation for you to practice giving. It is a reminder that your giving is necessary for you to exist and thrive and continue to engage the good news of Unitarian Universalism. It affords us to be the change we wish to see in our world as we take action rather than waiting for others to do so. Today's invitation to generosity is entitled The Offering on a Difficult Morning and was written by Elena Westbrook. Far too often we are forced to confront the terrible things that people can do to each other. When these things happen, all we can do is come together in places like this church to remind ourselves that there is still hope. There is still love. There are still good-hearted people who can look unblinking into the storm and continue to believe a calm, bright morning will come. This community is a refuge where we can keep the ember of hope alive when all the world seems intent on dousing it. And then we can use our little ember to light a beacon for the rest of the world. Our offerings each week sustain this community so that we can share our small embers and light a dark world. Please give generously so that we can all together help spread the light. There's easy ways to give. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of this congregation. Our Share the Plate recipient for the months of January and February is Hope Community Center. Please let us know if you make a donation for our own recording purposes. And now the offering will be collected, and then also note you can give online. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
This is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or if you have a joy that you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during worship. You can send an email to joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org during the week. If you're attending in person, you can also fill out a card at the registration table and hand it to an usher before the start of service, and we will also participate in our candle lighting ritual. Now, bring your joys and your sorrows as we come together. Come as you are. Your whole self is welcome in this sacred space we are creating together. The flowers this morning are a beautiful arrangement offered by Joan Irwin in celebration of her brother, Hal Rhodes' 80th birthday. And we'll have cake in Gore Hall, so this is a multi-sensory celebration. Today is Charles and Aubrey's 31st wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary. And we have somebody also turned in a card, so this is double greetings on that. A more serious one from Paul Burdett. My brother Greg continues to be in hospital and is facing the possibility of a liver transplant. Please hold his wife Donna and their family in your thoughts and prayers as they navigate this challenging time. From the larger community, we hold the people of Iran in our hearts amidst the turmoil of protests and crackdowns. And we hold our communities and our country with care and the world with our compassion by acting for justice in all of the small and large ways that will move the arc of the universe toward justice. And please, let us remember, the arc is long. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today, and for those held close to our hearts, let's pray, let's celebrate, and send each other healing energy.
Will you join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation? Starlighter and Sunslinger, hear our prayers. We ask that a blessing find all those without shelter and food today, that in return we would be reminded of the stranger's empty chair, that wisdom is in the welcome, that community is found just as often as it is made. Each of us is a star seed and a star sibling, a part of something greater, unnameable, a mote trapped in a sunbeam. Selah.
On second Sundays, we enjoy congregational candlelighting during service. Please join me today in a call and response reading with our 3 candlelighting ceremony as we light one for joy, one for sorrow, and one for mystery and the unknown that lies before us. May these flames hold us all as we bring ourselves into this circle of care. The first candle is for all the joys in our hearts, for the beauty and wonder of this world that holds us. We give thanks for the joys that brighten our lives. The second candle is for the sad and difficult happenings in our lives, for grief over the losses we have borne. Let this flame remind us that we need not carry them alone. Hold one another in compassion and care. The third candle is for all that remains unknown, a flame of mystery and possibility. We open our hearts to mystery and to hope. Together, these 3 flames, joy, sorrow, and mystery, burn as one. Let them remind us that whatever we bring into this circle of care, we are held in a greater light, and we do not journey alone. May it be so.
A while back, we had a moment where a bill came due well before another check would arrive. And unfortunately, it was one we couldn't quite put off until the money arrived. I didn't panic. Well, I did a little. Might have gone into my room, because that's a really good answer. Go in your room, have your cry. But I didn't panic fully. Instead, I opened my phone, navigated to an app, and simply typed, "We are $200 short for rent this month." Within moments, the money ended up in my Venmo account. I paid rent, and then I let my husband know about mutual aid, because he didn't know about it. He just, when I told him it was taken care of, he was like, "But how?" Mutual aid, at its basic level, is people helping other people, without the pressure of loans or the justification of charity. Just people helping other people. Author, lawyer, and activist Dean Spade says this about mutual aid. Mutual aid is collective coordination to meet each other's needs, usually from an awareness that the systems we have in place are not going to meet them. Those systems, in fact, have often created the crisis or are making things worse. We see examples of mutual aid in every single social moment, whether it's people raising money for workers on strike, setting up a ride-sharing system during the Montgomery bus boycott, putting drinking water in the desert for migrants crossing the border, training each other in emergency medicine because ambulance response times in poor neighborhoods is too slow, raising money to pay for abortions for those who can't afford them, or coordinating letter writing to prisoners. These are mutual aid projects. They directly meet people's survival needs and are based on a shared understanding that the conditions in which we are made to live are unjust. Mutual aid networks are popping up again, and I've been a part of them for a while in various circles, support circles for LGBTQIA beloveds who need to get out of our state, part of a network to help people needing transportation to find medical care in another location, and part of a circle of dear friends who quietly send each other money when we need it. But now, I think now everyone else is realizing what these circles have already known. We need each other to survive. We are waking up over this last year and realizing that we cannot rely on the structures we've relied on before. For a while, federal workers were without pay during the longest shutdown ever. They weren't vacations because their bills don't take vacations. Many worked without getting paid and had no idea then if they will be paid, when, and if that included back pay. Rent, mortgage, electric, etc., these things don't stop. Nearly 42 million Americans last year were scrambling to figure out how they would feed their families because SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps, were cut due to the government shutdown. And lest you think that these benefits are for people who just need to get a job, please know that the majority of those on SNAP benefits do work. In fact, when I worked for a period of time at a very well-known grocery store whose color is green, here in the South, the majority of my coworkers were on SNAP benefits. Again, from Spade, today many of us live in the most atomized societies in human history, which make our lives less secure and undermines our ability to organize together to change unjust conditions on a large scale. We are put in competition with one another for survival and are forced to rely on hostile systems, like healthcare systems designed around profit, not keeping people healthy, or food and transportation systems that pollute the earth and poison the people for the things we need. More and more people report that they have no one they can confide in when they are in trouble. And this means many of us do not get help with mental health, drug use, family violence, or abuse until the police or the courts are involved, which tends to escalate rather than resolve harm. In this context of social isolation and forced dependency on hostile systems, mutual aid, where we choose to help each other out, share things, and put time and resources into caring for the most vulnerable, is a radical act. Mutual aid is a radical act. So what exactly is mutual aid? Well, first of all, it's more than just friends giving each other money or canned goods or a ride somewhere. Mutual aid works to meet survival needs while also building understanding around why the people do not have what they need. And this part's important. I don't know if you've gone looking for a job recently, but I encourage you to check out the job board postings. Jobs that require a college degree pay $16 an hour. It's not easy to live on. A year or so ago, there was an article in the Orlando Sentinel that stated that for people to afford to live, not even comfortably, just to survive, an income of $100,000 a year minimum was necessary. Again, most jobs, even those offering full-time, are only offering $16 an hour. And so let me do that math for you. At $16 an hour and 40 hours a week, that's just over $33,000 a year. That's not counting having taxes and benefits taken out of the check. And we wonder why 42 million are on SNAP benefits. One of the most famous mutual aid programs in our history, and I saw recently is coming back, was the Black Panther Party. They had a free breakfast program, free ambulance program, free medical clinics, ride offerings for elderly people doing errands, and a school for children. They welcomed people in by creating spaces where their needs could be met. It's hard to fight for liberation when you're starving. History paints them differently, of course, but it's important to note that the Department of Agriculture's free breakfast program for children started shortly after the Black Panther Party was attacked and demonized. But let's be clear, the free breakfast program that the Department of Agriculture has is not based on mutual aid, it is based on a charity model. Mutual aid builds solidarity by providing for needs that can keep us from working for liberation and justice, as opposed to a charity model that determines who is worthy of help for a single issue. Mutual aid requires us to look at the intersectionality of issues that affect us all. Again, from Spade, solidarity and an ever-expanding commitment to justice emerge from contact with complex realities of injustice. This is exactly how movements are born, as people become connected to one another and as one urgent issue unspools into a broader vision of social transformation. We cannot tackle the problem of food insecurity without looking at the federal minimum wage, the rising housing costs, food deserts, rising health costs, etc. Another element of mutual aid is that it is participatory. Again, from Spade, mutual aid projects help people develop skills for collaboration, participation, and decision-making. For example, people engaged in a project to help one another through housing court proceedings will learn the details of how the system harms people and how to fight it. But they will also learn about meeting facilitation, working across differences, retaining volunteers, addressing conflict, giving and receiving feedback, following through, and coordinating schedules and transportation. They may also learn that it's not just lawyers who can do this kind of work, and that many people, including themselves, have something to offer. This departs from expertise-based social services that tell us we need to have a social worker, licensed therapist, lawyer, or some other person with an advanced degree to get things done. Mutual aid networks realize that we all have something to offer, and we all work together to get things done. Mutual aid is not charity. There's nothing you have to do to earn or prove to receive help in a mutual aid network. It breaks that traditional charity model that asks if you're worthy to receive help. The Big Door Brigade, a group helping others create mutual aid networks, says this about the difference. Charity also frames people in need as morally lesser than rich people, as if poverty were the fault of the poor rather than the fault of systems of racism, heteropatriarchy, ableism, land theft, and labor exploitation that make some people rich and keep a lot of other people poor. Charity looks like generosity from rich people, but actually upholds the systems that make most people poor for the benefit of the few. And I can attest to this. Remember my story from the beginning. I did look into how housing groups, assistance groups might help us, and it would have taken a lot of paperwork and too much time. And in many cases, you have to have an eviction notice before they'd help you. Mutual aid upsets this model by saying that the crises people are in are due to the systemic issues in our society, not because they are good or bad. Mutual aid says, I trust that you know your situation, and this is what I can offer to help. So how do you get involved? The website Public Health Degrees has this to offer about connecting with mutual aid networks. Be aware of how you show up in a space. If you are someone new to mutual aid, it's important to consider how you fit into your community. Acknowledge your privilege when necessary. Add your voice only when needed, and listen to the needs of the people seeking support. Do your research. Connect with organizers already doing work in your community. Find out what networks and services are present, and see how you can contribute to existing efforts instead of attempting to start something new right away. Follow mutual aid groups on social media. Mutual aid organizers often boost requests from other groups as well as requests from individuals in the community. This not only keeps you informed about what your local mutual aid group is working on, but can also alert you to other opportunities to contribute. Consider what you can offer. Donating money and providing resources, material resources, is just one way to contribute to mutual aid. You may also be able to offer your time as a volunteer, share your skills with others, serve as a translator if you're multilingual, and find other hands-on opportunities. And again, from the same site, how you can contribute to mutual aid networks. Number one, donate money. If you have it, share it. This can include donating to funds for specific individuals, as well as organizations that can use the money to purchase needed items for their community. Provide resources. Some mutual aid efforts include calls for material item donations, such as food or cold weather supplies, which they can distribute to community members. Offer your time. Serving as a volunteer for an organization to collect and distribute goods can be a hands-on approach for those who have the means to do so. And leverage your skills. A variety of skills can be helpful to mutual aid networks. Examples include donating time to designing graphics for social media, writing a press release, or offering expertise to educate community members on an important health topic. And if all of that just seems too much, and I get it, begin creating your pods. Much like we did during the pandemic, find the people nearby that you can connect with. Find how you can help one another if there is no one else to help, because the reality is that we likely need to prepare for that. We are all in this together. We need one another to survive. May we remember that mutual aid is about justice, and justice is what love looks like in public. Amen. May it be so, and may we be the ones to make it so. Now please rise, embody your spirit, and join in singing our closing hymn, number 318, We Would Be One.
Thank you for having me. My name is Leisha, and I'm honored to be here as your official artist in residence. And one of my joys of being an artist in residence here was getting to produce a poetry production that allowed very talented poets within our community who honestly do so much to give back to our community, to at-risk kids. They were all here last night. Thank you everyone who attended and made that a fantastic success. I leave you all with this. When you feel powerless, alone, divided, fooled, misled, and misguided, bills piling up like paper cuts, when getting help feels like getting mugged, when you lose your job just for speaking up, you could lose your freedom just for saying, I've had enough. And the powers to be get away with everything. When it feels like you can't win it all. When the world feels harsh, unstable, on the edge of war, I invite you to remember the words of Chilean poet Pablo Neruda. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot stop the spring from coming. Together we are the hope. Together we are the spring. We are the inevitable force of love unfolding in everything. So go forth in peace. Take care of each other's needs. Be the light in the world you wish to see.
Our benediction today is by Richard M. Fuchs. The world impinges itself upon our consciousness with problems too vast to comprehend or control. Help us to face our world with hearts full of love and head full of facts as we are able, and where we fall short, give us the grace to make our own lives a pattern of hope and humor, courage and goodwill for the years to come. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And I have a call to action for you. When I mentioned that there are mutual aid groups online, there is a Central Florida mutual aid group on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, I encourage you to join that group. I encourage you to share posts when they are able to be shared. I encourage you to help where you are able and to ask for help. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do when you need it, because we are in this together.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into the world until we are together again. Now, please join us in Gore Hall for light snacks, coffee, and your exclusive chance to explore the new Getting to Know You hub on the Gore Hall patio for lots of info about our community and to visit the Justice Action Table to learn more about 1U's justice efforts.